What's up, y'all? What is going down? Your boy is back on the grind one more time, and it is actually a few days later, and we are going to attack the rear end again. However, I got my rear double adjustable control arms in from Summit. Man, they're so fast. They got here in like a day and a half. I ordered them at like midnight one night, and then they got here maybe a day and a half later. Man, super fast. So I'm glad I got those in, but I was never able to install them as I just been busy with work and other things. So also in the meantime, I have been attacking little small jobs kind of here and there. So I find that I'm a little bit more effective if I come out for like 20-30 minutes, kind of do a task, figure something out that I was stuck on or what have you. So what I ended up doing, and I'm really happy about this, you guys, is in my past couple videos, I mentioned that the axle kind of slides in and out, and I just really wasn't comfortable with that, and I really didn't know why, and I really didn't know if it did it with the drum brakes on or not, because I just never checked it. But now that I have the discs on, I noticed that the axle kind of slid in and out. On that side about 1/8 of an inch or more, and then on this side about 1/4 of an inch, and I just felt like that was just odd. And for it to be doing that, I just wasn't comfortable with that. Like, it would rub against the brake pads, and the rotors would probably be shot in no time. And so, I don't know. I just kind of was trying to do some research. I really didn't find much. And then my buddy invited me to go out to see his car. And I'll try to put some clips in here as well as I'm talking. But it's my buddy with the 69442. I did a video on it quite some time ago this past summer. Super clean car. But he is going in on it right now, you guys, and I actually got a video or a few videos and pictures of it, so I'll try to make a full video on that one as well. But he is going in. I mean, he's going total pro touring vibe on that car. I mean, like, he has like a pro touring package QA1 setup, all suspension, coilovers, everything. He's going with like a quick ratio steering box, new master cylinder. I mean, he's going in. It has a 455 big block, and you guys stay tuned, you guys. When I say 455 big block, you might be seeing that on the channel. Just letting you know, just a little hint. Anyway, so he has a 455 big block in it right now, but he's been getting the itch to go in LS. So just like an hour ago or so, he found an LS3. And man, when I say he has been on the hunt for LS3 these past few weeks, he has been on the hunt. And just really 6.0, 6.2s, all like the most desirable LS engines, LS3s, things like that. Really hard to find right now, you guys. I mean, he called dealership after dealership across the country. I mean, like, he is ready to buy. He's that hot buyer. Man, he called everywhere, Florida, whatnot. One was sold kind of from under him, and he was really mad about that. But they're just not out there, you guys. And so I know GM has put kind of like a halt on some of their engine builds, especially the combustion builds. And so they said the LS3 probably won't be back into production in probably like October, or at least out for people to buy. So I don't know, you guys. If you find one, you probably had to find one from a dealer that already has one, and that's what happened with him. He found one looking on eBay, and then it was actually a dealer in like Missouri or something like that that had it. Called them, and they had two. So he pulled the trigger, got it. So, I mean, when I say he had been on the hunt, he had been on the hunt. Then he was like, I'm going to go use. I don't want to go use, but I'll have to. And this, yeah, just crazy, you guys. But anyway, so LS3 in that car, Tremec, the new TKX 5-speed Tremec. I mean, he's going in on it, you guys. So anyways, just stay tuned for that. I'll post a video up on that just to kind of give something a little bit different on the channel as well. But where I was going with this is... I asked the mechanic there who was working on his car, because he also has a 70 Chevelle, I believe, and he has a Ford 9-inch in his, but his is a quick performance 9-inch. And what I was asking him was about the play and the axle. He says it shouldn't have that. He said it should maybe move like a couple or a few millimeters, but like really that's it, like very little play. And that's what I kind of thought too. So I kind of had some thoughts. I was like, well, the bearings look really good. That spacer looks really good. Like, it looks new. Like, the guy who put it together, or put this car together before I got it, it looks like he serviced the rear end because he was going to race it. That's why it has 410 gears in it. So the bearings look new. Everything looks good. The seals look good and everything. So I was like, well, so maybe the spacer isn't pressed down all the way or something. Maybe there's a little bit of play in the bearing or something like that. I don't know. Then I started thinking about that retaining plate that I talked about that looked kind of off to me. And so, which ended up being, long story short, it wasn't. But so the read the directions, you guys. Read the directions when you get stuff. And I read the directions, but I should have just went with the directions. But anyway, so the retaining plate that came with this car is actually aftermarket. I think they came fully assembled onto the axle. So if you have to cut the bearings out and the spacer, you also have to cut the retaining plate out. And then they make aftermarket ones now where it has an opening and you could just slide it up and bolt it in. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's 4 bolts on the flange on the end of the axle, and they're T-bolts. And when you put the axle in, there's a retaining plate that presses the seal in, presses the bearing up against the race, and then you put the nuts on the bolts there, and that's what keeps the axle in flush, and that's what holds it in place. Well, the plates that I have are just simply flat, and let me show you right here. Sorry, I don't mean to talk too long, but I got to explain the story just in case, too, you guys might want to know. So this right here, and I believe this is aftermarket, but see how it's flat right here? So that's how it came to me. And the one that Willwood sends you is like this. So it's the same shape for the most part, but you can see how it has that lip. All right, that lip there. And that's what was throwing me off. And I was like, well, I don't know if that's going to work on mine, so that's why I didn't use it. Well, because of that, I also have the emergency brake kit on here too. And so with the emergency brake kit on, it actually gives that little bit of space away from the end of the flange on the axle. And so to make up for that, that's why they have that lip there. So this lip, this little step lip, actually presses against the seal. Let me turn this camera around so I can show you. So here it is right here, you guys. So this is the seal. Don't worry about this. I'll talk about a little bit about that in a second. But so this is the seal right here. And what happens is that lip presses against that seal right here. And it sits like that. And then that seal presses everything up like so and sits it flush against that spacer, and then that's what holds the axle in and doesn't allow it to slide in and out. Versus is this one right here that also does the same thing, because if you put it on there, and this is what was throwing me off because I know it was sitting flush like this, well, because there's that emergency brake kit that's also sitting right here, then you have that gap in between right here. And so because this one doesn't have that lip, it can't press against that seal, and that's what provided that little bit of a play on that axle. So I'm glad I figured that out, you guys, and I'm glad I talked to him because he made me second and third guess myself. So I came back, I put it on, and sure enough, it worked. So it's on the driver's side right now. Everything fits good, and then now I'm messing with this. So the reason why I have this on right here and out the car is because this was sliding in and out, it actually damaged the seal right here. So there was a little bit of a notch kind of damaged, and that messed it up. So a couple options I really only had was either I take this to a machine shop down the street who said they could do it for like 40 bucks, but then I have to pay for the parts and all that. And I could replace the seal, or I was like, well, what else can I do to kind of save it? Because this seal doesn't spin. It just simply presses against this presses against the race, and then this holds it in place, and then it doesn't spin, but the axle spins. So I said, well, let me see if I can do this. If I can make it a clean fix, maybe I can make this work. So what I did is I put this, man, this stuff is awesome. The right stuff. If you guys aren't using this for RTV, you guys need to use it. I've been using it for quite some time, and it seals like no other. It's actually a gasket maker, and it's no joke. But anyways, what I did is I cleaned all around it like really good, and I used some mineral spirits that I have down there. Cleaned it really good, got all the grease and everything off. Then I actually used a red little Scotch-Brite pad and I scuffed just outside of it, so that way that gasket material had something more to grip to. But first what I did is that little notch that was out of there, I filled in the hole, and that's why the tape is there, so it couldn't go anywhere else. Fill in the hole to kind of build that area back up. And then I laid a layer and I smoothed everything down, so that way when it's pressed up inside of the race and in between the flange, it won't bind or hit or anything. So I just did that and let it dry for like an hour, 90 minutes, and then I laid one more layer over the top just for added assurance, just a light layer, and then that hopefully that does the job. So then what I'll do from there, then I'll make sure that this part is sitting upright, so that way it's not sitting on the bottom, and I won't be risking any fluid leaking out of it just in case this fails. So I'm gonna move it to the top so that way all the fluid will drain down, and it lessens the risk of anything happening to that side. So I think that'll be okay. Like I said, it was just a small little notch, and I didn't feel like it justified me breaking all this down, getting new spacers, bearings, and whatnot. So we'll see how it works. Now, into the main portion of the video are these adjustable trailing arms right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this area up, use these trailing arms that came off the car as a template, so to speak, for those. And I'm gonna match them up hole to hole and line them up based off these, and then in hopes that it will pull that rear end forward once it's installed. So let me go ahead and do that right now, get it set up, and then I can show you what those trailing arms look like. Now it is time to attack the trailing arms. So we're gonna get this thing dialed in. So these are from UMI. I don't know if you guys see this part number 43-B. These are double adjustable trailing arms right here. Come really packaged up really well. To the side over here real quick. All right, so they give you directions, all the hardware and everything. More stickers, man. I got stickers, so many stickers. It's insane right now, man. It's insane. All right, so let's read the directions. I preached about this earlier. Stop. If there is a problem with your item, please do not return them to the retail store for assistance. Oh, okay, so just asking you to call their 800 number if you have a problem. All right, so you got your jam nut to lock it in here after you adjust them. Roto joint, so I'm assuming that's how it's able to kind of swivel and, you know, go up and down within that joint there. Grease fitting, grease it down. Double adjustable. About your roto joint. All roto joint items are shipped fully assembled. Arrive with very light film and grease, although it is not enough to maintain the integrity of the roto joint use. The end user must, in caps, must grease the roto joint with 1 to 2 pumps of marine type grease before use. So I don't have a grease gun, so I'm gonna have to go buy that, but I'm not gonna be driving this car for quite some time, so that'll be something on my list I have to do. Marine type grease is recommended due to its high resistance to water washout, keeping the roto joints functioning like new over long periods of time. Should the roto joint be difficult to grease after initial install, UMI Performance recommends driving the vehicle approximately 100 miles to let roto joint adjust to the vehicle conditions, and then add 1 to 2 pumps of grease. So it's basically just telling you to drive it around for a little bit, 1 to 2 pumps of grease in it regardless. So it's saying do not support the vehicle on the rear axle because it's going to need to be dropped probably to install and for adjustability. But it doesn't talk about any adjustability. So anyways, we're just going to go ahead and attack it ourselves, see what's up. But I will say UMI packages their stuff really well. I mean, it comes like this came double boxed, and within its box that it was in, it was packed with that packing paper, and then within that, obviously, it is bubble wrapped. So yeah, it looks like it has a little swivel in here, And then you probably want to install this with the side down, obviously. But yeah, y'all, that's a hefty duty piece. And I should be able to use my Hotchkiss sway bar, hopefully. So I probably should take measurements on it before I take it off. I'll take measurements on this. Actually, hold on. Let me see, where is my tape measure? All right, so my sway bar is a Hotchkiss sway bar, so it should be, let's say from center to center, it should be 6 inches. Just about 6 inches. Hop! We in the game. So that's a win. Ooh, it'd be kind of cool if this was powder coated orange. Nah, I'm gonna leave it black. All right, so let's also see. Let me grab my caliper. Let's check the width of these. So, yeah, about 62. Yeah, and that wasn't accurate. So this is a 60-ish. Check this one. Yeah, about the same. We in the game. All right, so turn them the equal amount. And now what I'm going to do is put them both like this, and then I'm going to just base the turns. So that's 1 full turn. It's 1 full turn. And it's still not lined up.
So we'll go another full turn. Another full turn. Lined up yet? We'll go another full turn. We'll go another full turn. So I'm doing this on both sides, so I want to make sure it's even on both sides, so I have full adjustability here. Whew. 1 full turn. 1 full turn. Did it work yet? Let's see.
And see, okay, so we are right here even stock, or however long it was before. I'm just assuming it's a stock length here. Let me grab my tape measure. So this looks about a 1/2 inch. Somewhere in there, about 3/8 of an inch. So I'm hoping this is enough. I don't know what to do. And then I'm just gonna install it temporarily and just kind of just see what it does here. Definitely gave me grief. Just couldn't get the holes lined up to get this dang rear lower trailing arms in, and just because I have a frame brace mount up here, and then that wouldn't line up correctly, so I had to actually use a jack and actually an extension to press the frame mount brace up so it lined up with the hole, and it was just a series of things. And the rear end wouldn't line up because I'm trying to pull it forward, and I don't know if it's supposed to be that much forward, and I couldn't get those holes lined up, but I finally just got it, man. So anyways, long story short, it's in. And what I have is I had it on, as you guys saw earlier, I had it to the setting of the other control arm. And what I did is installed it that way, and then I just turned it. So I think when you adjust them, if you want to lengthen and shorten them, you can just simply just turn it like this. You see how I'm turning it? And so I'm going to return it back to its shortest setting. So as you can see, the little heim joints there, well, I don't know if they call them heim joints, but as you can see, they're all basically locked out to the max shortness that they can go. So I have everything just kind of lightly snug. So this whole rear end and everything is just lightly snug. And that way, when I get it to where I need it to be, then we are good to go. So it looks pretty centered. It at least for the most part. So what I'm gonna do is put on the wheels, man, and hopefully this thing works. So you guys stay tuned. But I'm gonna go do the other side real quick. I'll chime back in. All right, you guys, so I got it all installed, the wheels installed, so I'm gonna go ahead and lift it back up. Remember, I have the coilovers at the lowest setting. Take a look at the rear end, this side, see if it's hitting, which we are good. I don't know, the other side always is close, but it's not hitting, which is good. See if I can lower it slow. All right, y'all, she all the way down. We good on this side. Oh man. Oh man, they worked. They worked. Woo! I should be good on this side without even looking. Oh shoot. All right, let me grab a tape measure real quick. I want to measure both sides. So I have the coilovers set at the same on both sides, and then I can make adjustments from here. So this one's right at 26.5. This one is right at, man, they're dinged in the same height. Whew. Oh, what a win. What a win, y'all. Man, this whole thing was a biatch. But we looking right, y'all. We looking right. Man, it's exciting, y'all. All this work, I'm just a do-it-yourself type of guy. And these are the rewards that I love, y'all. Man, look at that. Woo! All right, so as you guys can remember, it was hitting back here on both sides. And I would have needed a trim, which I did. It's still tight. It's still tight, but it clears, and that's all that matters. So what I'll probably end up doing, oh, and by me fixing that axle too, it won't slide in and out, so I don't have to worry about it hitting. But what I'll probably end up doing too is raising it. So I'll probably raise it. It's really low right now, and there's probably, like I said, it's on its lowest setting right now, so I'll probably have to adjust it anyway. We'll go ahead and make those adjustments, but yeah, we good. Look at that. It's actually not even on both sides, but I don't want to go any further back, so I'm going to make it closer to this side and hit clear, so I'm good with that. We'll take it to the other side. But as you guys can see, plenty of clearance here. It was hitting right here. It's still tight. It's still close, but by me, I think raising it a little bit, I think we're gonna be good to go. But so yeah, y'all had to stand up. But it would make sense that this one's probably giving me more problems because this whole quarter panel side, pretty much from this line down, was replaced, and I can see probably why this would give me a little bit more grief than the other side. Gonna make it work, y'all. Gonna make it work. But we in there. We are in there. Rear end is centered. It is lined up. And man, I feel good. That's a win. Whew, that is a win, y'all. That is a win. I am glad to get that done. That's the main focus, was to get that rear end centered and get these wheels tucked in where they should be. And then moving forward, I can just go ahead and torque everything down back there, and then we should be good to go. So then I'll be able just to kind of run my brake lines and everything, and shoot, we're in business. As we move to the front, I'm definitely going to start attacking the front suspension here and taking that down and getting ready for all that install. So I got some tubular control arms, you know, Willwood brake kit, all that stuff. So the front of the suspension will be dialed in as well, man. But that is a win. I am happy about that. It is looking good. I'll give you one more look. Ooh, again, that's the lowest setting. She tucking. Ooh, she tucking. We'll go to the other side real quick. So if you're new to the channel, definitely think about subscribing, y'all. Hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. And yeah, get in the comments. Let me know what you guys think, y'all. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and get cleaned up and get ready for my day. So you guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff, y'all. Mr. Griffin 23, we out.